today's One Good Idea episode, we talk about pivoting. For our first time viewers, one good idea is a result of our work with customers and conversations with other business leaders. We always welcome a conversation with you, and our promise is you will always leave with at least one good idea. Hence the creation of the One Good Idea series. No, I was recalling the situation where we had a number of customers over the years who have completed all the necessary steps to develop their growth plans. They're well into their implementation when something goes haywire. It could be a shift in the market made by a competitor, or maybe a significant and unexpected change in regulation, or an unanticipated geo-political scenario, all resulting in the current plan being blown up.
Like a pandemic?
Yeah, like a pandemic. That'll certainly blow a few plans up and cause people to pivot or to quickly change direction if they want to adapt. Of course, if a company is committed to scenario analysis, they might already have a plan in their back pocket for the circumstance. But if not, they'll have to quickly regroup and pivot.
So how do you know where to pivot?
That's a really good question. When it comes to pivoting, especially when you're pivoting on the fly, it's better to figure out how to take advantage of the current, so to speak, rather than go against it. For example, we saw plenty of restaurants during the pandemic quickly pivot to takeout and curbside pickup. Some restaurants who had never done this before have now made that a regular part of their business model.
This became a market requirement if those businesses wanted to survive.
For sure. And they were at a disadvantage at the beginning against competitors who already had this capability as part of their business model. Anyway, back to our example, which involved a customer who relied heavily on industry and events and other in-person interactions as part of the customer engagement tactics, especially because for them, demo and the ability to interact with their product was critical to success. Product experience was an underlying and essential part of the customer buying journey.
Yes, and the pandemic pretty much put an end to in-person events. It didn't take long before they began to experience a decline in customer orders. Guess that would require a pivot.
It certainly did. And so the conversation that we had with them was to quickly explore how they could create ways for customers to demo and interact with the product when they couldn't actually do it in person, and potentially even experience it. You might remember we teed up several ways to do this along with a strategy and a set of tactics. We had to think outside the box and explore doing things differently, very differently than they had ever done before.
If I recall, we began to explore how to quickly leverage virtual events since the industry was also pivoting.
That's right. And also how to create a virtual interactive demo, which took some time. And they had to kind of like curbside pickup, which has now become part of the standard part of the customer buying journey. That's what happened for them. And lastly, they created a streamlined variation of the product that could be quickly and cheaply manufactured so customers could interact and experience the primary features and functionality of the product.
They actually made a series of moves that allowed them to pivot to survive.
They did, and they revised their marketing touches accordingly. And they recognized the importance of being better able to anticipate various scenarios in the future. So they've implemented a scenario analysis process that the leadership team employs quarterly.
Pivoting takes courage. Seems like we may have more than one good idea in this episode. Thinking outside the box and using scenarios to help anticipate the unexpected.
So we'll end this episode with more than one good idea and a smart marketing tip. You can find content on thinking outside the box and scenario analysis on the VisionEdge Marketing website.
And remember, if this video was helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel so that you'll be notified of future smart marketing tips.
Thanks for joining us.